away to Grampy's, always such good company. It's the only place to be.
Where?
Over at Grampy's house. Da-dee-dee-da-dee, it never is too late. Da-dee-dee-da-dee, he will always wait. And when everybody's resting, he is always full of pep. Everybody's gonna be
Where?
over at Grampy's house.
Betty Boop.
Thank you. Dear Betty, I'm giving a little party. Come right over, bring the gang. Grampy! Woo! Such a darling. I'm on my way to Grampy's. Always such good company. It's the only place to be. Over at Grampy's house, so I'm on my way to Grampy's. For he always treats me nice. Always something on the ice.
Where?
Over at Grampy's house. Da-da-dee-da-da-da-dee. It never is too late. Da-da-dee-da-da-da-dee. It will always wait.
Everybody's gonna be. Where?
Over at Grampy's house, so we're on our way to
Wait for me,
Grampy's.
Betty.
Always such good company. Over at Grampy's house, so we're on our way to Grampy's. For he always treats us nice. Always something on the ice.
Where?
Over at Grampy's house. Da-da-dee-da-da-dee. It never is too late.
Da-da-dee-da-da-dee, he will always wait. And when everybody's resting, he's always full of pep. Everybody's gonna be right here at Grampy's house.
That must be Betty and the gang.
Okay, boys, come on in. Hello, Grampy dear.
Howdy.
I brought you some company.
How do you do?
Howdy. Howdy. Hello.
Hiya, Grampy.
Hello, hello, hello.
How do you do, Grampy? Hey!
Come on, folks, have some punch.
Oh, what an idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Down the hatch.
Oh,
Serve the cake, Betty.
I sure will.
Thanks.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Is that good? Say, Grampy, how about some music?
Music? Music? No, no. Let me think. No, music. Music. Wait, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, music. Oh, dear. Oh! I've got it.
And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, party on, Wayne. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, party on, Wayne. All right, let's check out the YouTube. Party on, Wayne. All right, make sure it sounded good over there. The YouTube. I go to there, and I come over here, and I'm live. There, and I come over here. I go to there, and let's be Twitch so I can tell if I'm live. Hello, YouTube. Let's be Twitch so I can tell if I'm live. Okay, I think YouTube's good. I think Twitch is good. YouTube. Let's be Twitch so I can. All right, let's get rid of all of that. I think we're good. I am working on the Carhop outfit. We were doing the roller skates on Saturday. I want to get to the texturing, but I still have to get it in the DAZ, so I started doing that this morning. The Stellar Angel outfit got submitted to DAZ this morning. So, yo, CS Bond in the house, baby. Oh, yeah. What are we doing here? I still need to get the apron and the hat in here. So the hat's just going to be a prop. So I can then export this out for texturing. That's where we are with this. We got the, where is my Marvelous Designer? I closed it because I exported everything already. I knew that. You were just testing me. I know. Here, we'll do this. Let's get the apron in here. I'm going to rig the apron as a skirt. There we go. That's a little bit different than the apron we used on the MVP server outfit. This one's kind of tied in the back with a bow, fake bow. The server outfit kind of had a clip on the side, and it had a smaller pouch thing. So let's get this set up. Actually, let's first things first. Let's check our. Let's make sure our UVs are looking good. UVs are looking good. That's what it's supposed to look like. Let's drop a little D-force on there. Let's tweak the bend stiffness. Let's go back to perspective view, and I'm just going to run the sim real quick. Just to make sure everything's kind of working okay without any major. The big issue here is stuff just vanishing. And that happens when you accidentally have two verts in the exact same spot. D-Force does not like that. It will complain. Well, it won't complain. It'll just make things vanish. All right, I think that's looking fine. We'll cancel that. Clear the sim. Let's rig this up. We're just going to run that as a Genesis 9 favorites. The apron. We're going to treat the apron as a skirt. I'm going to say we'll use the long loose template on that. And we just accept that. You know, make sure the D-force is on there. Come back over to here. We're going to apply our generic shader. I'm just going to reset the bend stiffness. Let's quickly add. Convert to sub D. And we'll add a smoothing modifier on that one. And over here, I'm going to set that to generic. And I'm just going to hit a memorize on this. I lost my memorize. There it is. It's over there. Okay. That is memorized. Let's clean up the geometry names, and then we can save the surface names. Use the geometry editor and make those a little nicer to work with. I do have the skates ready to bring over into DAZ, but I'm probably not going to do that today. I'm going to focus on trying to get this set up for textures. And then I don't know if we'll do that on stream tomorrow. I'm done with the modeling on the skates, and I'm pretty happy with how they're looking. Do I happen to have those? I don't actually have those nearby. We'll open that up real quick. Roller skates. I don't need to save you. So they're looking like that. I am pretty pleased on how those came out. I think that'll do. So put that away. Okay, that is, nope. Okay, this is ready to be saved. So we're just, as a figure prop asset, Carhop, apron, retro Carhop, there we go. Am I going to call you, I'm just going to call it a dress. And the hat, we're just going to bring it as a prop. And we'll just parent it to the head. I don't know if this is the final version of the hat or not, but I've got one that I can use now for the purposes of at least getting the textures going. So let's import that. Right there it says hat. There we go. Our little chapeau. Let's parent that to the head of the Genesis 9. Like so. All right, let's clean. That's not going to be deforced. That's just going to be a rigid parented object. We'll clean these up. It has 3 material zones. There's a cap. There's a top. So the cap is basically the side. And I have this little trim right along there. Okay, so that's probably good to go. Let's get a generic shader on that. There we go. And we are ready to save the cap out. So this is how, it's hard to see because it's all white right now. You know, without the skates, this could almost be kind of a soda jerk too. Just to change the hat. Soda jerks didn't wear the pill hats. They wore those, what were they? Are they called duty caps? Kind of like in the military. I might model one of those and have it as a freebie extra for something. And then we could easily just turn this dude into a soda jerk. And also I'll adjust the pants. Right now they're optimized to fit inside skates, so they get really narrow. But we'll probably just add a widening morph on those, I think, just so I can kind of use them as more regular pants. And then we could just parent those with maybe those saddle Oxfords I did a long time ago, which I don't know if I ever did a version for G9, but we'll see. All right, cap's ready to save. Boink. Let's do that. And I'm going to say hat. Keep. And you are retro, and you're just a. You know, I'm going to call you an accessory for the head. What are our options? We'll just say head. So everything should be saved. Oh no, my content library is garbage. Let's refresh that so we can get it back. Easiest way I know to do that is just come in here and re-accept and hope for it to, when it makes the adjustments, it might, there it is, we're back. There we go. All the outfit parts are there. Let's give each part a separate color. We're going to export it out. We're going to take a quick trip into Blender because when we export from DAZ, everything gets sharp edges, and we're going to fix that in Blender. Also in Blender, I'm going to spread the parts out. Yep, my brain stopped. Let's do this. Let's select that, and that, and that, and that, and there we go. And everything's got nice, neat apron this, apron that, cap that, pants, and shirts. We're just going to run through here and apply those generic shaders I have. And then we can use this for creating the ID map. And then the cap. And this is handy for substance when we start texturing things. Okay, so pants. You can actually make the pants into shorts, so we've got an option for that. I know they're too long for Sarah, but oh well, what you gonna do? I might throw in a shortening morph on those. I'll see how that works out. I didn't want to use that color twice. Let's do that. It's better. Some of my generic colors are just really close. They just made sense at the time when I did this. And what is basically a bowling shirt, but it's got its uses. It's got some nice zones, so we don't have to just be a bowling shirt. Oops, I didn't want to do that twice. There we go. Like I said, and the reason I do that is cyan or turquoise. They're basically the same, just different names. I like turquoise, but if you really want a cyan, where am I? I'm over here. Pocket, sleeve trim, and then shirt yoke. All right, so we're all ready to export this stuff out. I think I have it all selected in here, don't I? Yep. All right, let's export. Actually, what we have to do is we'll turn the smoothing off, and we'll make sure our resolution is at base. Enable smoothing off. Resolution level base. Now we'll just do this as an export. Over here, Carhop, whip. Let's make a substance folder. And Carhop outfit. Say G9 just so I know. Save that, and with surfaces. All right, looks good. What time is it? It is now 2:21. It is 2 minutes past fall. So it is officially now fall. At least that's what Google tells me. Google tells me the equinox is at 2:15 or 2:19. So there you go. Bye, summer. I'm so sad when summer goes. I'm such a summer. All right. I think we could put Daz away for a while. I don't even know if we'll probably get back in there to put some of the textures on. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically make base colors, and then we can mix and match with the different surfaces. So of course we'll do black and white, and then we'll need to do red, and I think blue, and maybe yellow and green. So I'll have 6 basics, and then then I can kind of mix and match colors based off of that. Do I want a gray? Do I need a gray? I don't know. Maybe we'll do a gray too. And possibly a Hawaiian. just so we can have a cool Hawaiian shirt. Um, Anywho, so we're going to make a quick stop in the blender with this. So don't need that. Hit that. Come over here into the substance folder and grab that. Okay, so that's looking good, but you can kind of see how rough everything is. And substance does recognize that, so we're going to hit shade smooth. So that's better. And now we'll just get in here and I'm going to have to pull this stuff apart. We'll put the pants there. The hat's good where it is. I should be able to just do something like that, right? And then just move that over to the side. And we'll just put that out over there. And we're probably good. I can also use this for setting up my materials. In whatchamacallit, in DAZ. So if I use this, it allows me to set up a material file that work with any of these parts of the clothes. Anyhow, I think this is good. I think we've got to do the 2 exports now. Export number 1 with materials. I'm just going to overwrite that. And then number 2 without the materials. And we'll just put our NM in there, so no materials. Export that. Okay, hopefully I'm ready for substance. Let's go take a quick peek at, yay, looking good. These are all on one map. The boots will be on a separate map. I need to make a pencil for this set. And also, we're going to steal the guest check from the MVP server outfit. So skates are on a set. Guest check. Maybe the pencil on the same. I'll see how the guest check's mapped. If I got room with the guest check, I can also stick the pencil on that same UV sheet and save some texture maps that way. I think I'm good. I've exported, right? All right, time for substance. I need to add a button to the front too. I think I'm just going to put a simple fake button at the very top. And of course I'm lazy. I'm not having a belt. For one thing, it will get in the way with the apron. And that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. I'm activating Adobe Substance Painter, 3D Painter. There we go. We've got our Zimzalabim mug out today. Zim is streaming today too. She may still be on. I think she's going to go along today because she could. And Zim is just an incredible artist. Oh, there's looks like Substance Painter now. We'll do that. We're getting everything set up. All right, let's go. File new. Select. Let's go get that no material. I know I started a 50s car and I never finished it. I get frustrated making cars. I had somebody ask me if I could do a sorry, but I tried that at one point and wasn't happy with it. There we go. Carhop. Whip. Substance painter. No materials. There we go. Let's try this. There we are. All right, let's save this. I should remember to save right after I open. Okay, we're going to the right spot, so we're going to call you, I'm going to say car outfit. We'll do that. All right, let's make our mesh maps. So I'll just start with that, with the default settings I have saved. All right, I think that's good. Let's make the ID map. Boink. So that has different settings than everything else. That's the reason why it's always gets baked separately. One thing, I like to have a higher resolution map on that because it makes a difference for this. Also, we got to make that cage a lot tighter so they get better fidelity on the map. That's the term, fidelity. That's or more accurate mapping of the IDs. And I think I'm good. Let's go ahead and just save that out. Also, since I have substance open, I might as well save the texture template out before I forget. Let's export texture. Let's come over here and we'll choose my ID map preset. And then export that, and it should have Carhop outfit ID. Yay. Here, we'll cut that, and we'll put it over into the whip folder. I don't have that open yet, but we'll go over there. I went past the 50s, didn't I? Carhop, whip. I'm just going to put you right in here. All right. I'm popping into here, so we're going to save this out. The UV layout. All right, come up here and here and down here and here. And hey, it says Carhop. Do I have anything in here? I don't. Can I rename you? As I have determined, Carhop should actually be kind of one word. And since I haven't put anything in here yet, we might as well change that name. 4096 and 4096 and export that. So we can probably get around to doing the displacement map real quick too before we call it a day here. Okay, I'm lost. Substance painter. All right, stop that. All right, ready to put textures on here. This is pretty straightforward. It's all basically cotton. I'm going to add a little bit of shading and a little bit of highlighting. And we'll also, of course, do dirty versions. But given the fact that there is metallics, right? There's a zipper. So this will need a metallic and a roughness map. These actually don't, for the most part. All right, so let's go into paint mode. Let me just start with that generic cotton that I like. I think it's cotton. I think that one's right there is the one I like. So we'll just start by dropping that on there and scaling it. Eight tends to work for me, I think. So that gives us a base. You know what? I'm going to just change that to a... as you all know, I don't do pure white. I do like an off-white and call that white. Daz is going to blow that shit out anyhow. Same thing with the black. Oh, and I should do sewing. We should do the sewing on this too. That'll probably take the most time. You I don't need. So here, let's add a couple of paint layers. This is going to be a bright white because this is going to punch up the highlights just a little bit. We're going to do that with an edge wear. So add a black mask. You know what? I'm going to duplicate this. I am going to use you know what? Let's just set you to neutral gray. It looks about right. And then this way I can tell. See, we'll add a generator on here. And I'm going to do this fiberglass edge wear. I am not seeing that because I put it in the wrong spot. I want a generator here. There we go. We're going to dial that back a little bit. I think maybe we reduce the contrast. And we'll just dial the wear level back. I'm probably going to put a little bit of a blur on here too. I think we'll do that. I really didn't need to do that with the grunge, did I? Let's add a filter here, and we'll just put like a blur on there. And we can kind of soften it out a bit. And, you know, up here, and I just want this for the base color. So we're good with that. I think, am I just the base color? I am just the base color. Okay. Excellent. And I can't see chat in case anything happened. Nope, nothing happened. And then we could just dial that back up. Put you on the screen. And we can just kind of do that. So it's there, but it's subtle. And I can adjust how little or how strong it gets. All right, now I'm just going to add another fill layer. This is just going to be for shadows. Drop another black mask on there. We'll add a generator to that. This is going to be dirt, so that kind of goes in. Once again, I'm going to just try to tweak these settings a little bit. And I think we're going to blur that maybe, or we'll just set you to multiply. Not that it makes a big difference with black. And I think I will put a blur filter on here so I can control that as well. That may be a little over the top. We'll see how it looks when we get into DAZ. Sometimes I feel like I'm not being subtle enough, and then other times it's just so subtle you don't notice it. So that's just kind of like the base shaders. I'm going to just, you know what, let's just put these into a group and call that shading and shadows and highlights. Shading and shadows. And highlights. We'll do that. So let's knock out our color sets. Can I just Shift D that? That would have been too easy. Duplicate layers and Control D. Okay. And that's the wrong one. I want this one. I'm going to call you Cotton White. Cotton Black. Actually, Cotton White is gray. I just realized that was the gray layer. All right, make that dark, but not completely dark. See here, we're probably going to dial that highlighting back when we export the black out, because that is a little strong. All right, let's duplicate that. Let's just make you red. And I kind of like my red to be a little on the dark side. Maybe we'll desaturate you just a little bit today. Duplicate that. So let's just make you blue. Kind of like that. Duplicate that. Control D. You'd think I would remember that already. This will be the green. And duplicate that. Let's make you yellow. Now, do I want a yellow? I guess we'll just go with yellow. Call that yellow. Let's do a fill layer. And let's see if I can find some of those tropical patterns. Maybe tropical 1 and tropical 2. And I think they're over in here somewhere. Can I drag you down a little bit? I can't. Okay. And I'm going to drag that out so I can get 4 across. And then I have all these merchant resources that I've picked up from Renderosity, which hopefully are legitimate. Fingers crossed. Ooh, do we like that? That's a little too crazy, I think. I like it, but it's not, I don't think it quite what I want for this. You know, the batiks are kind of cool. So I was thinking, although, do I got red tropicals? I know I got a green that I use almost too much, maybe. I have something red with flashes of yellow and other colors in it. Summer flowers might have the trick. That might probably work for the green. I think we'll tile that up a little bit. Yeah, all right, that's going to be tropical 1. I'll know it when I see it. That's... And I did go ahead and load up nearly all my merch. A lot, well, not all of them, but a heck of a lot of my. Hey, there's Taco Tina's now available at Daz. Atenius, I think that's the name of the person who makes most of these merchant resources. Somebody else called Neelim, something like that, does a few of the others. Here we go. I like these. If I've got a good red. So maybe the pink. Or maybe I saw. Oh, I actually like that. That is appropriately ugly. I think that might just be tropical too. I think I might go with that. I'm going to check and make sure there isn't the ideal red in here, though. I don't actually recall seeing what I'm thinking of. I used to own a shirt that had red and was really ugly. It might be floating around somewhere still. And yeah, let's just call you tropical too. I don't think I've got a good. Yeah, I think maybe we'll just go with those two. Or maybe do one with a pink tropical. Yeah. Let's take a look at the. I went past it, didn't I? There they are. There's a pink in here somewhere. Are you mostly pink? That's roses. Do I want to do roses? That might match like one of my other 50s outfits. And I might be able to just use this shirt with that too, but I don't know. I'm getting out of hand. I'm gonna have 9 textures and I gotta make 9 dirty versions and I gotta save all of that. And then I have to kind of figure out what I want to do for hierarchical material presets. And I might also set up separate files for trims. Let's stick that over here just for now. Currently I have 6, 7, 8, 8. Do I want to do, we'll do, what the hell? We'll do 9. You know, tropical shouldn't have an O in it like there. O3. Okay, let's come over here. Let's go ahead and, yeah, we'll use the rose. No, I'm not liking the rose. How do you actually look if I put you on? Nah, I'm leaning away. I'm just going to go with the 2. Okay. Those are set up. Let's create a group here called colors. Color bases. So I can close that up. So we have shadows and highlights. I have color bases. Let's start doing the stitching. I should not work with this color, though. That is just noisy and I can't see anything. We'll probably, you know what, I'll work against the gray. All right, we'll put you over here. And I need to be able to see this stripe down the side. Mask with color selection. There we go. I want to put my sewing through here. And I'll put some sewing on here. I need to be able to see that waistband so I can know where that is. And likewise, I gotta be able to see the cuffs. So I'm probably going to put sew lines on all of that. Then on the shirt, put a little bit of sewing there. Actually, that works. That punches it. I need to be able to identify. No, I don't need to be able to. I need to be able to spot the yoke and put a line across it. And we'll just put a simple seam right there. I don't really need to be able to see that. I probably should reverse the normals here and here. Something to do before we start the Genesis 9. And then I got a little invisible strip through there. You can actually see it now. I'm going to need the buttonholes to run right through here. So we're going to do that. I think we'll do 6 because I'm feeling that lazy. Should be, actually, I'm going to do 6 and then there should be one up here. Actually, I can do that over here because I can see those. So we can start a buttonhole here and run down to here. Maybe 6, maybe 7. Let's do that. Let's set up a paint layer for that. And we'll come over to brushes. And I'm going to come up here and see if I can find my button brush. There it is. So we're going to do something like that. I need to do a couple of things. We need to switch you to UV. And then we want to increase the spacing a lot. I don't know, we'll start like there. So that what we're doing is putting one here. And I want to end there with about 6. So that's way off. Let's try 500. Let's try 600. We'll try this again. I might need to make this smaller too. I don't know. Okay, that's only got 4. I am going to make you a little bit smaller. Oh, I've got these left over. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Two, three, 4, 7. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. You know what? We're going to do 7. So now it's just kind of the tedious task of just doing this until we hit it like that. That works. I'm just a hair off. I'm just a hair off. There we go. Buttonholes are done. I'm just going to put an opacity layer underneath that. And we're just going to paint that as opaque. A basic hard brush. Can I just clear everything here? So you know what? I don't have to. I just need you to be black. And we're just going to make you really small. And then I'm just going to draw those in behind. Inside of there. I don't even know if I really need this. This is the subtle detail that nobody ever notices. So that goes like that. I'm going to switch this so I can see what I'm doing. Because I can't see these. I never know which one of these to use. I didn't like that. Let's try you. I think that's got transparency with it. There we go. I can see my hole now. Yay. There we are. Let's go back to... Let's go back to here. Clickety click. Does that cotton have an opacity map on it? I don't know. Probably should have made that smaller. I think that was 7. Yep. All right. Let's hit save on this. And now we'll start adding the stitching. We'll do the shirt. We'll pop over here. We'll grab the 3D, whatchamacallit. We'll do top stitching. And this is really annoying. You know what I need to do? I need to mark this. There's a little invisible thing right in there. I need to make that visible so I can work a little easier. Color selection. There we go. Let's select that so I can see this edge. Oops, something's happening. Cheap followers. Hell, my followers ain't cheap. You rat bastard, you. Alright, I can't see the, I can't see my pens. I can't see my pens. No. Thank you, Charles. You the man. My window isn't big enough. There it is. Pass. If these things aren't big enough, it just hides stuff from you. It's clever that way. I'm going to tweak this after we get it in here. because that is just stupidly thick, right? But this is why I use the path tool, because I can change this. The other stitch tool isn't you can't go back and tweak it like this. You have to just redo it, which is kind of annoying. All right. Let's make some adjustments. So let's tweak the color. I'm doing this obnoxious red because I can make adjustments to that. This is a hot mess over here. Can I tweak that? Do we have a tangent? We'll say UV. Helps a little bit, except that is just ugly. Why are you so ugly? Arg, so I can't really do. But I have to set it up so it doesn't overlap as bad as that. So I think, isn't there a depth thing, projection depth? Because I'm getting that right through here. What I might have to do is just mask that stuff off. And I might have to do this in two separate, you know what, I'm going to do this in two separate lines. So I can just mask off parts of these. Yeah, all right, I'm going to trash this and just redo down the front here and down the front here. And then we'll tweak that, and then I'll do another line, the edge. So can I just get rid of you? And then we'll just run one. Okay. So let's adjust that. So let's start with the sizing. That's already a lot better. And that might be good enough. Tweaking the positions a little bit. And you know what? I might just leave this off because it's just not quite working for me. And we'll just run it down this edge here, I think. I do have to clean that up just a little bit. So here, we'll put a white mask on. Add a white mask. I'm going to add a paint layer to that. Add a paint. And then I can just do that, except I went too far. And I'm going to make sure this is set to UVs. And then I can just mask that part out. Don't make noise. Okay. All right, that's not too bad. Let's go this way. And I'll stop it right about here. So we'll come back over to pan 1, and I can then just click there and continue. Except what we want is we want a sharp corner there. There's a sharp corner. And then that. I'm going to unsharp corner that. And we'll just bring you around like so. All right, we'll do that there. I think that's fine. All right, I think I'll run a line through here. So we'll escape and start a new line. I can't, if I get too close to that, I can't actually put a point there. We'll tweak that beginning point later. I'm going to put a seam up the sides, I think. I also want to put a, now I can't see what I'm doing. I'll eyeball this and we'll fix it later. I probably just need another color in here so that I can see what's what. All right, so in here, let's add another color. Let's add a mask with a color selection. Let's give you easily a spot obnoxious color. And I want to be able, oh, I can't, no, I want to be able to see that. There we go. Let's make, I can't, it's too close to my gray. Wow, 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 wow. That's better. Am I in the right layer? I am. I am not. I'm still not. Because I need to be over here. There we go. There's 2. I'm just going to put these closer to that line. Also, I can now see my yoke, so I can put a seam right on the yoke. Uh-oh, I'm in the pants. Everything's gone pants, man. You know, those are fine. You, can I just maybe, and you, no, I didn't want to, I just want to kind of drag you out a little like that. And we'll just kind of check that. I think that'll be fine. All right, let's run a line through here. I think I'll just start in here. Okay, let's set one up over here. I'll just kind of start you in there. All right, let's add around the sleeves. Chris can't see what he's doing. Let's make another fill layer so I can actually see the sleeves now. I'm gonna add another mask. Then I can do that, and now I can see the sleeves. And now we can go back to sewing the shirt stitching. I don't know if that's going to work out or not. You probably can't see it under there anyhow. All right, let's add one to the little sleeve cuff part. I'll just run that right straight through the middle. Did I not connect you? Can I just close you? There we go. Oops. I started that without finishing the last one properly. Okay, you know what? We're going to run one up the sides. No, I'm not. It's too wrinkled. It's going to be really a pain in the ass to get that. I'll run one on the collar. I think that might be, actually, and then we'll run a couple on the top of the sleeves. So we're going to use hue and saturation to change the colors of these. I use red because that works easiest with the hue and saturation. All right, now I think I'm going to get the collar in here. Then we got to do the pants and the hat and the apron. Whee! What exciting content, Chris. All right, sharp corner of that. Back to round corner on that. Or more relaxed. And watch this detail be almost not noticeable. All right, sharp corner of that. Unsharp and bring that. So I think I'm going to go with that. So here, let's adjust the sewing on this a little bit. Or so what we're going to do is we're going to add a filter. And we want that hue, saturation, and lightness on there. And I'm actually probably not going to color the threads. We're just going to make the threads be a little darker than what's underneath it. So I'm just going to turn the saturation on and bring that lightness way down like that. And then we'll just switch this to multiply just on the color. I am not doing height and roughness. Damn it. Are you doing height and roughness? Are you just normal? Did I forget to click on the normal map? I did. All right, we got to do this. Which path do I have here? I'm going to cut and paste and reset these so they have normal maps. Boink. There we go. Copy. I have to do these one at a time. It's a real pain. Wouldn't it be nice if I could select all of these at once and say paste property? I don't know. Maybe we can now. Did you guys fix that yet? Nope, I can't multiple select these. That's the problem. But this is the good part, is I can actually change these parameters. So I forgot to turn the normal on with the first ones, but I can go back and actually get these all so that they, without having to redraw them. Paste properties and paste properties, and I should be good. So if we pop over here and take a look at our normal map, yay, we have normals. I need to add a, we need to get one of these cottons to have a normal map. We'll do the one way in the back. There we go. Now we got a normal map. Do I have an opacity map back there? I do now. Maybe not. Let's take a look. I've got an opacity map now. All right, we're good to go. I might do the jeans with a different material. I don't know. We'll see how this looks. Anyhow, shirt is done. Let's just do the apron. I'm just going to do the front of the apron because I'm totally not putting stitching on that bow. So I do need to kind of see what I'm doing here. What happened to my weirdo color layers? Are you in here? You are in here. Bad weirdo color layers. You're not supposed to be in there. You're supposed to be over here. There you go. You're one of the weirdo color layers too, so you get to go there. You're special. All right. Let's select some colors on the apron so I can see the differences. Okay, so we're going to run sewing on this edge and through here. And I'm going to put a little bit right in there. Okay. So we need another paint layer. This is going to be stitches, stitch, stitching apron. All right, that one is good. And let's just run a line because this is going to get dumped in underneath. I can clear that up though with a mask. Did I not? All right. I think that's going to be it for the apron stitching. Although if we take a look at the apron stitching, I have this stitching in here, which I don't want. So we're just going to put a white mask on there, and then I'm just going to paint that out. Like so. Let's hit save on this. So that's the apron. Let's do the pants. I'm going to run stitching on both sides of that seam. We'll put stitching on the waist and stitching on the cuffs. And a wee bit of stitching on this, which I can't see. So, and you know what? I'm going to group these, and then we're going to put this filter on here. So I'm going to remove that filter right now. Remove effect. Does that do the trick? Yeah, and because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these into a group. And that's going to be stitches for snitches. And then we can put a filter on that. And then we can just adjust that, and I'll tweak the we'll tweak the settings in a little bit. Boy, too bad I can't paint on this. I'll just run a seam. You know, I'm just gonna run a stitch right through here. What are you? You're my filler. I'm gonna add that so it's a little more visible where I am at. That's the little strip that will be deleted when I make these unbuttonable. So here in stitches, let's add another paint layer. Stitching pants. We'll do the waistband first. All right. Make you sharp. Make you curve. And then just bring that all the way along. I'm stuck inside the shirt. Help. All right, sharp that, sharp that, go back to curve. Did I not make you curvy? Oh, you got, there we go. We'll make you that. We'll pull you back around a little bit. I'm feeling like I was a little off on how far those should have been. Probably should have been a little closer to the edge. All right, I'm going to run a seam right around the crotch. I'm going to do a double seam on that one, just for fun. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to do... Oh, man, those wrinkles are going to be a pain. Let's do the sides. Escape and back again. Unfortunately, they're not symmetrical, so I have to do both sides. It'd be nice if the auto stitch tool worked better. Instead of just being a goofy ass toy. Okay, now we'll get the other side, then we'll get the cuffs, then we're going to get the crotch seam. I'm going to not do the inseams. That was kind of a nasty shape, wasn't it? And go back up. Gotta watch out. I can see another thread on the other side. So I have to be careful not to accidentally click on it. Let's get this. I'm just going to run this right along the upper edge. Ideally, you'll never see this because it'll be inside the boots. But I am going to make more so that it'll be okay to wear it without. And I mean by boots, I mean the skates. Oops. I hate it when that happens. Oh, I forgot to escape first. All right, pull you down just a little bit. I think I'm going to be in a position to get these textures on in Daz. Hopefully. Oh, I still got to do the little bit of threads on the cap too. All right, now I'm going to switch over to, actually, let's get the cap out of the way before I switch brush and screw things up. And I'm going to say hat. I'm calling you a hat. Stitching hat. Stitching hat. That's what. All right, we'll start on the back. I do need to see that band. That's the wrong thing. I meant to click on this. So I want to see that band right there. And do I want to do that? Probably not. Maybe. That shape didn't quite come out the way I really wanted it, though. I'm just going to go with that. All right, let's go back to the pants. And then let's come over here. And we'll just do a double stitch. And I'll just run that through the crotch. So somewhere down here, single straight, double stretch stitch. Is that what I really want? You know, I'm just going to do that. Let's see if I can get this to go through. I'll probably adjust that to bring it a little bit over. Oops. Don't make noise. Right, I think I'm done with the stitching. That's kind of the hard part. Let me see, put maybe a denim down here instead of cotton. And what I'm going to do is I'll switch these just to be color layers. Well, not those. Those are just. And actually, do I want to put stitching? I'm going to do stitching in there. Dum dum dum. Stitching shirt. I think we'll just do uno, dos, halfway through, here, here, halfway through, and here. And I'm going to select these and make sharp corners. And then what I want to do is I want to mask off the part underneath it. So then can I come? Nope, I got to do the escape key. Doi, doi, doi. Okay, we're going to select all the corners. Do that. I think it's good. Kind of just neatening up the corners a little bit. Probably should make all my stitching a little bit smaller now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to add part of this to that black mask as well so that I'm not getting the stitching underneath that little pocket detail right there. So we need to get rid of that. Oh, and look at that. And that on the collar is also bleeding over. Yeah, but we have a mask that we can clean that up with. Excellent. That's good. Do I got you? I got any weirdness on the back? Nope. I think that's probably going to be fine. Let's hit save. So do I have all my stitching in one? I do. And then I have my, and that's good. And I don't really need these 3 layers. I think I can just get rid of those. So we're going to go down in the color. And with the exception of cotton, we're going to turn the rest of these into just color. And then I want to try see how a denim on the pants looks. And those are already colors. Okay. So that's the white so far. Oh, and I have to add a zipper still too. What do we got? I got 23 minutes. Denim. There's that cool denim. The world's coolest denim. It's got way too much stuff going on though. We can tweak that. And what I'm probably going to do is then tweak this so that the colors will blend in with the other colors, and then we can just use the normal in the height map or something like that. Anyhow, this is all the stuff that goes into that denim base. If I get rid of that, and then that just kind of bleeds into whatever colors underneath it. Is that right? Yeah, although we want to tweak the adjustments on the top. So I've got this weird stitching. That's an auto stitch kind of thing going on there. We're going to track that down and kill it. Not that one. Actually, do I want to get rid of that? Yeah, we do want to lose that. So that goes away. Stitching motif, totally don't need that. Gray volume, that's a little overpowering. We're going to dial that off. So edge frayed, I kind of like that, but that's a little strong. So you know what, we'll probably just dial that back a bit. I think I might have dialed it too far because now I'm not seeing anything. Like that. Okay. This is white under. I kind of like that. Although maybe we're just going to make you a little subtler. Main fiber. I'm going to tweak the color in here and we'll kind of change the color mode a little bit. So, I mean, let's just maybe do that. And if I switch you to instead of, what do I have right now? What is that ledge? I can never remember what this ledge is. It's in here somewhere. Maybe I can just do an overlay. That didn't seem to do any good. I can't tell. What do I got? I do have height and roughness going on in there as well. You know what? I do want the height and the roughness going on. Maybe I'll take the color off. What is giving me that cloudy? Oh, you're just, no, there's this weird clouds. Which one are you giving me the clouds? Right there, main fibers. If I turn you off, maybe I do that. Take the discoloration off. And some of that weirdness coming from my shadows and highlights, it is a little bit. All right, let's tweak that. I can figure out what you are. You're the vertical. There we go. And that's what it's going to look like if it's in red. Let's go take a look at our base color map. Okay, so that's too dark. Those threads, we're going to dial those threads back. That's kind of good. Do I just want, so I also want to apply that to the other parts of the pants, so I haven't done that yet. And I still need to put a zipper in here. And we'll just run that from here to here. And I'm going to put a button in here at some point. So we kind of come, let's put shadows and highlights up here. And then I just need to adjust probably that just a hair in here. Okay, stitches. I think base color, I'm just going to just kind of dial that back. Oh, did I get rid of my, I think I accidentally deleted my hue and saturation. There we go. And then I'm just going to dial that color back. So it just darkens it up a little bit. Right, let's get the denim on the rest of the pants. I don't need it on that strip. That's going to be invisible. And on some versions, it's going to be gone. Okay, so American Graffiti was black and white, so we're going to do black and white first. Was American Graffiti in black and white? No, it was color, because you could tell the color of Milner's car. I gotta check and see what colors they used at Mel's Drive-In, but they don't call it Mel's Drive-In. They call it like Burger Joint, even though they got a big sign out front that says Mel's. And I think the Carhops have I don't know why they don't call it Mel's, why they call it Burger Joint. I mean, it is a burger joint, but still. Richie Cunningham was calling it that. I think I'm good here. I like that. I think if we switch, we'll knock out the black and the white. We'll do the black first. Control Shift E. And this also, actually, I haven't done the zipper yet. Damn it. Let's do the zipper. Zipper. I'm just going to put the zipper right in here. Yep, 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 yep. All right, we need a right here. I'm going to put a paint layer right there. I'm just going to do a regular. Actually, let's do a pen tool. We'll switch you over to zipper. Oh yeah, right. 3D view. That's why I'm not going to do it this way. I have to be able to paint underneath this, and I can't do that with that pen tool. So I'm going to do this one. We're going to come over here. Actually, let's clear that. Clear that over here. Here, we'll use this zipper here. Oops. Size you down. And I'm just going to do something like that. We'll set that up for just UV mapping. So I'm going to adjust that a little bit. And we're just going to run that from here. You know what? There's a curve in there, so we should probably... Dang it, that wasn't any good. Hey, you can't see it because it's on the inside. Huzzah. And actually, even when it's open, you're only going to be able to see half of that, right? So let's try this one more time. I think that's going to be good for now. All right, let's hit save. Let's do Control Shift E. So we're going to do 6 channel because there's a little bit of opacity, I think, on the oh, and we got the buttonhole's got an opacity on the shirt. So we are doing our 6 channel right there, 6 channels that has an opacity channel in it. Should be good. Let's open the output directory. So we don't need you. I already got one of you. These are all good. Over here, we're just going to say black. And then I just need to make color maps. Let's do white and blue for right now. And then we'll get this thrown on in Daz. So let's turn that off. So this is basically the white version. Oh, damn it. I don't need to export out these other ones, but it doesn't hurt. I can just do color maps now. So basically do the Control-Shift-E, dum dum dum. And we're just looking for base color. Pop over here. That's going to be the red. I'm probably going to redo the red to have like a brass zipper. Maybe not. It's not that important. All right, I think we're good for right now. I'm going to cut those. Let's head back to Daz. Hello, Daz. How you doing? How you doing? Uh, let's go to surfaces. Let me select all the parts. They're all on the same map, so I can just do those in one fell swoop. Click all of that. Let me figure out where we're saving stuff. Yo, hey Chris, I gotta get up and fix some dinner. All right, Charles, I will catch you later, man. Yeah, enjoy the dinner. Yeah, 10 minutes and I'm out of here. We'll find somebody to raid. It's always good to see you, buddy. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Oh, Brain has stopped. Brain will come back. I'm looking for my projects. There we go. The 1950s. The Carhop. Runtime. Textures. Me. Carhop. Let's put an output folder in here. New folder output. Let's paste that into there. There we go. Let's switch you to be, I like extra large icons. Can I get you to be too wide? There we go. All right. Base color, we'll start with the black. Actually, let's reset the base shader. Boing. And then I'm going to start with black for everything. Glossy roughness, I think that is right there. So we got our glossy roughness. Metallicity is here. Okay, we need our base bump map, which is my height map, which is over here. You got a normal map, goes there. And we have an opacity map today. You don't look quite right. I might have to tweak the opacity a little bit. Yeah, something weird about that opacity. I'm going to leave the opacity map off for right now, because I have to make some tweaks to that. Something not quite right with that. So now we'll just add our color highlights. We're going to do a white shirt. That's right. And we'll add some trim colors. We're going to use red for our trim color. So we'll put that on the apron, the stripes on the sides. We'll add, maybe I'll put it on the back in the trim, and we'll do the hat in red. Anyhow, this is white. And then we'll just do the hat in red. Likewise, I'm just going to do the apron all in red for now. I'm going to add, so I have 3 zones here. I have to tweak that one, and that one. Trim shorts, trim. I think those are the right ones. There we go. And then I'm just going to add some. I don't want to do that. Do I want to choose the collar? I don't know. Maybe we'll do the back. And that. And we'll do that. And maybe we'll just do red sleeves. Actually, let's leave that white. Let's do the sleeves in red. And I think I'm going to call that. And do I want to do the rest of the collar in red maybe? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. I think that might be the default look right there. Let's see how you're rendering. 5 minutes left. I think I'm going to maybe call it a day right about here. I still have to do the displacement map. I'll do that later. Because that will really add some punch to it. It's fine. All right, that's the start. All right, thanks for being here, Charles. I know you've walked away. And anybody else who may be listening, I appreciate it. If there's anybody over on YouTube, like and subscribe. If there's anybody on Twitch, we're going to go raid out. Let's see who's on. Creation's on. I think we'll raid Creation. I was watching Zim, and apparently Zim raided Creation. So let me just double check and make sure there isn't somebody else who absolutely positively. Esrom is on. Sounds of the Equinox. Uh-oh. You know what? We're going to go over and say hi to Esrom. Esrom makes cool music. Yeah, it is. It's officially first day of fall. So happy fall for those of you who enjoy that kind of thing. For me, it's just creepy season. So anyhow, let's do that. We'll go over and say hi to our good friend Esrom. Hey, I'm going to give a shout out to Charles. Make sure you're following. I still have stuff over at Dad's. Feel free to check out my store. I have a Discord. Feel free to join. If you post in the stuff in the gallery, we share it on a Saturday night social, 8 p.m. Saturdays. Discord chat, art share, and an old cartoon. What is today? Today's Monday, so my next stream will be tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Probably more stuff with the Carhop outfit. We have skates to add to that. The skates are modeled. They need to be textured. I don't know where I will be with the skates coming tomorrow, but we'll see. Anyhow, yeah, let's do this. So if you're on YouTube, thanks for being here. If you're on Twitch, you can join the raid. Feel free to copy either the subreddit call, Twitch. Nope, that was the wrong one. Raid. There we go. Feel free to copy that if you're not a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, you can use the subreddit call. And let's do this. /raid SROM. Is that an underscore in there? Yes. Music. Did that work? Raid has been started. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to pop over here to this window. I'm going to copy my raid call. And hopefully I can catch you in the future. I hope you have a good rest of a Monday or Tuesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby.